Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Military Money Manual podcast. Spencer Reese here, and today we're talking about the thrift savings plan. I'll be addressing the 5 most common TSP questions that I get through my email, podcast@militarymoneymanual.com, or on my Instagram @militarymoneymanual. So, number 1, Roth or traditional. This comes up all the time. It depends on your tax bracket, but if you're listening to this, probably Roth. Especially if you're in a combat zone or you deploy often or you're getting combat zone tax exclusion pay, you definitely want to go Roth in those instances. If you're in the 22% bracket or higher, it might be a good idea to start looking at traditional, but this probably isn't going to start happening until you're a field grade officer, FGO, and it might never happen on the enlistment side for a standard career. Now, if you have a high earning spouse, this advice is going to you might want to look closer at traditional because you might be kicked up into the 22 or 24% bracket much earlier, but so much of military pay is untaxed unless you're in a very unique circumstance, like you're receiving a pilot bonus and you're very late in your career as a military aviator, or if you're a doctor and you're getting large medical bonuses, medical career field bonuses, then you're probably going to want to go Roth. And if you're in the 22 or 24% bracket or higher, then maybe you want to switch to traditional for your TSP. You can also do a mix too. You can do a mix and match, but that's usually not relevant. So probably Roth for you if you're listening to this. All right, number 2, what TSP investment strategy should I pick? It should be in the context of your entire asset allocation. So a lot of times I see people saying, well, I'll be in an L fund over here, but I'll be in 100% total US stock market over my Roth, and then my brokerage account, I'm going to do this strategy. And I just want to make sure that people understand that your asset allocation should be applied across all of your accounts. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you hold the same things in every account, but you should take into consideration, well, if I have 80% C and 20% S fund in my TSP, well, that's 100% US stock market. So if you want to have 100% US stock market as your asset allocation, then that's fine to put that into your Roth IRA. But if you want to add international funds, then you want to make sure that you add some international funds to your Roth IRA or to your taxable brokerage account. There's a lot of debate around this, but unless you have a really good reason, I say just go with an L fund. So it should be appropriate to your birth year, plus 65 or plus 70. So if you're born in 2000, an L2065 fund or an L2070 fund. And if that's not right for you, you'll have plenty of time to adjust fire as you move through your career and as you learn more and as you build knowledge. But just start with the Lifecycle fund. Start with the L fund, L2060, L2070, L2075, something like that. And start there. It'll be close enough. And if it's not quite 100% right for you, you'll have time to adjust it before it starts adding more bonds. It takes a long time for the portfolio to start adding more bonds, and it adds them very slowly over time. So you have time to adjust strategy there. All right, number 3, is there a big reason to do the TSP over other investments? Taxes, taxes, taxes. Just like in real estate, it's location, location, location. In investing, it's taxes, taxes, taxes. So when you are lower enlisted or a officer who's just starting off your career, a big portion of your pay, first of all, you have low pay, and second of all, a big chunk of your pay, even if you are making good money, is going to be untaxed because it's BAH, BAS, COLA. It could be CZTE, combat zone tax exclusion pay, where you're not paying any federal income tax on those allowances and you're not paying any federal income tax on CZTE money. So you'll have a good opportunity there to put that money into your Roth accounts. And once you've locked it away in a Roth accounts, well, you didn't pay money on it when you earned it. You don't pay taxes on it while it grows. And then when you pull it out after age 59 and a half, you don't pay taxes on it again. So it's the triple tax benefit of military pay. So that's the big reason to do the TSP. Some other good reasons are if you're in the blended retirement system, there's an automatic 5% match after 24 months of service. So after 2 years of service, you put in 5%, the government kicks in 5%. You just doubled your money right there. It goes into the traditional side, which isn't great of the TSP, but that's fine. It's still a 100% match. And now that we have in-plan Roth conversions, you can actually move that money out of the traditional side over to the Roth side. Another great reason is it's low cost. So there are lower cost funds available now, but the TSP is extremely low cost. It's a great retirement plan, and you get diversification. And you can have automated diversification through the L funds. So those are some of the big reasons I think that you should do the TSP, the thrift saving plan, over other investments. Now, I got a question here. If my TSP is set up with a contribution percentage that will slightly exceed the annual limit in December, what happens to the money that goes over? If I lower my percentage, I won't fully max. Well, first of all, if you're that close, okay, so say you miss the max by a couple $100. Who cares? You put thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, in 2026, you put $24,500 into there. That's fantastic. And so if you if you miss that match by a couple $100, who cares? It doesn't matter. So what will happen is the DFAS won't deduct it. They'll just deduct up to the max. And usually your last contribution is automatically adjusted to be right at the limit. And then they just refund you the extra money in that paycheck. But if there's a mistake and it does go over, then TSP returns the excess to DFAS and then it gets returned to you in the first couple months of the following year. What should I do with my TSP after I leave the military? It depends. As all good personal finance and investing questions, it depends. For most people, I would say leave it there. Leave it in the TSP. Let it keep growing. There's no advantage to compounding interest by consolidating accounts. If you have a small amount in there, maybe there's a reason that you just want to monitor one less account, and so you can roll it over to a new employer's 401k, or you can roll it over to a traditional IRA. But I would just leave it there. That's what I did with my TSP after I left the military, and that's what I encourage most people to do. You still get access to the G Fund. You can still roll over plans into there. So I had a 401k from an employer after I left the military, and I was able to roll money over from that 401k into my TSP and consolidate my accounts. So those are just a couple of the biggest TSP questions that I get through Instagram and through Gmail. If you have a question, reach out at Military Money Manual or podcast at militarymoneymanual.com or leave a comment. Spotify now has comments. You can leave us a comment on there. And if you got value out of the podcast, rate and review. Give us a 5 stars on Spotify or Apple, and we really appreciate it. It helps us get the word out to other military service members, other military spouses, other people in the community, just like you. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Military Money Manual Podcast.